The ex-wife of the man I had an affair with has been taking care of me and my son, and I don't think I deserve any of it. I didn't know he was cheating. He told me he was in his late 30s, never married, and there were no pictures of his family on his social media, so I trusted him. I was 18 at the time, and I know him being interested in someone so much younger should have been a red flag, but I'd only recently got away from a pretty abusive home, and having someone treat me like an adult made me feel special. But then I got pregnant. We weren't planning on it, but I was happy. I really thought we could build a life together. He tried to pressure me into terminating, and when I said no, he just ghosted me entirely. I ended up finding his real Facebook account. Everything he told me except his first name was a lie. He's 45, and was married with 2 kids, the oldest being only 3 years younger than me. I ended up messaging his wife, Mary. She asked me a few questions, thanked me, and promised she didn't blame me, and I thought that was that. When my son was born, I gave him my last name and told the hospital staff I didn't know who the father was because I was embarrassed about what I'd done. 6 months later, Mary reached out to me again. She told me the divorce was ongoing, she'd separated from her husband, he basically ditched their family entirely as soon as he was found out, which makes sense in hindsight, and wanted to know if I'd be okay meeting up to talk about things. I agreed and basically had a breakdown in Starbucks while talking to her. I dropped out of college, my applications for government assistance were taking too long, my own parents wanted nothing to do with me, and I was at risk of losing my apartment. I felt like a failure and was considering giving my son up for adoption because I didn't think I'd be able to care for him. I still feel awful about her having to comfort me, but she outright hugged me despite everything. A week later, she reached out again saying she'd talked to her kids and that if I wanted, I could come and stay with their family. I've been living with them for almost a year now. It was very awkward at first, especially with the kids, but they never hated me for what I did, and after some adjusting we've been getting on well. And Mary's just been an absolute angel. I've tried to get her to accept rent, more than once, but she insists that as long as I'm saving some money, I don't owe her anything. I don't expect to live here forever, but Mary's been clear that I don't need to move out, and after rushing to get away once in my life I don't want to do it again. For now I'm working and saving up, and hope to move out sometime next year. I might think about going back to school, but it depends on how things shake out. I don't think I could manage work, college, and my son at the same time, at least when he's still so young, and I really don't want to ask for any more from Mary and the kids. I do plan to go after child support eventually, but I'm afraid of having to face Mary's ex-husband in court, so it's something I'm working up to. She's helped with childcare, she buys food for us with everyone else, and she's promised that she'll find a lawyer if I ever feel ready to go after her ex for child support. She really does treat me and my son like family, and I think she's going to be his grandma. My son's going to grow up with a loving household I didn't have because this woman looked at me, the person her husband cheated with, and chose to open her heart. I still don't really feel like I deserve it. I don't understand how she can look at me without feeling hurt about what happened, but I don't want any of it to change.